The Nokia N9 is a smartphone made by Nokia running on the Linux-based MeeGo Harmattan mobile operating system. First released in September 2011, it was the first and only device from Nokia with MeeGo. It was released in 3 colors, black, cyan and magenta, before Nokia announced on Nokia World 2011 the white version of the phone. History and availability. The successor of Nokia N900, internally known as N9-00, was scheduled to be released in late 2010, approximately 1 year after N900 launched. Pictures of the prototype leaked in August 2010 showed an industrial design and a 4-row keyboard. A software engineer working for Nokia's device division cited the N9-00 in the public bug tracker for Qt, an open-source application development framework used in MeeGo. This design was dropped. Then Nokia started working on the N9-01, codenamed Lanku, a new variant without a keyboard. Nokia N9 was announced on June 21, 2011 at the Nokia Connection event in Singapore. At the time, the phone was presumed to become available to the public in September 2011. Users can get notified via email of the availability of N9 in their country at the web page of the Nokia online store. Since Nokia closed its Nokia online shop in many countries, including Poland, Germany, Netherlands, France, Italy, Spain, United Kingdom, and the United States on June 30, 2011, availability in those countries will be in the hands of retailers and operators. Nokia CEO Stephen Elop said that it will be the first and last MeeGo device from the company, something that MeeGo supporters already felt just after the phone announcement by creating a petition "We want Nokia to keep MeeGo." In August 2011, Nokia announced that Nokia N9 will not be released in the United States. Other reports indicated that the device will not be available in other markets such as Japan, Canada and Germany. Nokia posted on the official blog in the last week of September 2011 that N9 phones are heading to the stores. The initial retail price was announced to be around $480 and $560 before applicable taxes or subsidies. In Germany, devices imported from Switzerland are available online from Amazon and German Cyberport GmbH. In January 2012, they were also made available in some major stores of the Saturn Media Markt chain. In February 2012, Nokia N9 appeared on the Italian Nokia site, which is supposed to be a sign of N9 being an official Nokia distribution for the Italian market. Prices in January 2012 were, depending on the size of the internal memory, between a 500 and a 630, being higher than the Windows Phone-based Nokia Lumia 800 and in the same range as the Apple iPhone 4s. Hardware processors and memory. The Nokia N9 is powered by a Texas Instruments OMAP3630, which is a system-on-a-chip based on a 45nm CMOS process. It includes 3 processor units, a 1 GHz ARM Cortex-A8 CPU which runs the operating system and applications, an Imagination Technologies PowerVRS GX 530 GPU supporting OpenGL ES 2.0 and capable of processing up to 14 million polygons per second. And a 430 MHz TI-TMS 320C64X, a digital signal processor, which does image processing for the camera, audio processing for telephony and data transmission. The system also has 1 GB of low-power single-channel RAM. Comcate uses part of this memory as compressed fast swap. All user data is stored on the internal eMMC chip. 16 and 64 GB models are available. Screen and input. Nokia N9 has a 3.9-inch capacitive touchscreen with a resolution of 854, 480 pixel and pentile RGBG layout. According to Nokia, it is capable of displaying up to 16.7 million colors. The OLED screen is covered by a curved scratch-resistant Corning Gorilla Glass. The gap between the glass and the display has been reduced and the screen is coated with an anti-glare polarizer to ease the usability in daylight. There is a proximity sensor which deactivates the display and touch screen when the device is brought near the face during a call. It has also an ambient light sensor that adjusts the display brightness. The device also makes use of its accelerometer to rotate the screen in portrait landscape mode for some applications, such as the web browser. GPS N9 has an autonomous GPS feature with optional AGPS functionality, Wi-Fi network positioning, a magnetometer, and comes preloaded with Nokia Maps and Nokia Drive applications. Nokia Maps is similar to OV Maps found on recent Symbian devices from Nokia and is mostly about finding nearby places around the user. Nokia Maps for MeeGo is also integrated with the contacts and calendar applications. Nokia Drive is a dedicated application for car navigation and provides free lifetime turn-by-turn voice-guided car navigation. The Nokia N9 comes with preloaded maps of the continent where it was purchased, and as such, Nokia Drive does not require an active data connection and can work as a standalone GPS navigator. Camera The main camera has an autofocus feature, dual LED flash, is optimized for 16:9 and 4:3 aspect ratios, and has a 4 digital zoom for both video and camera. The sensor size of the back camera is 8.7 megapixels. The effective resolution for the 16:9 aspect ratio is 3552 2000px, and 3248 2448px for the 4:3 aspect ratio. Typically, a 16:9 picture format on a digital camera is achieved by cropping the top and bottom of a 4:3 image, since the sensor is 4:3. Nokia N9 genuinely provides more in the width of the picture by choosing the 16:9 aspect ratio option by using the full 3552 pixel width of the sensor, and more in the height of the picture by choosing the 4:3 aspect ratio option by using the full 2448 pixel height of the sensor. The Carl Zeiss lens has quite unusual specifications for a mobile phone: 28mm wide-angle lens focal length, fast f/2.2 aperture, and a 10 cm to infinity focus range. It is capable of recording up to 720p video at 30 fps with stereo sound. Buttons. When holding the device facing the screen, on the right side, there is a power on/off and lock button and volume keys. The Nokia N9 has fewer hardware buttons than most smartphones and makes extensive use of the touchscreen to navigate the user interface. For example, to minimize a running application, the user has to swipe their finger from one side of the bezel surrounding the screen to the opposite side. There is also no dedicated shutter key for the camera. The touchscreen is instead used to focus and take the picture. The screen can be unlocked by double tapping on it. Audio and outputs. The N9 has two microphones and a loudspeaker situated at the bottom of the phone. The main microphone enables conversation and recording. The second microphone is located on the back of the device near the flash LEDs and main camera. It is used by MeeGo system for noise cancellation, which make phone conversations clearer in noisy environment. On the top, there is a 3.5mm AV connector which simultaneously provides stereo audio output, with support for Dolby headphone, and either microphone input or video output. Next to the 3.5mm connector, there is a high-speed USB 2.0 USB micro-B connector provided for data synchronization, mass storage mode and battery charging. The USB connector is protected by a small door. The built-in Bluetooth V2.1 Plus EDR supports stereo audio output with the A2DP profile. Built-in car hands-free kits are also supported with the HFP profile. File transfer is supported along with the OPP profile for sending-receiving objects. It is possible to remote control the device with the AVRCP profile. The Bluetooth chip also functions as a Fathom receiver transmitter, allowing one to listen to the FM radio by using headphones connected to the 3.5 jack as antenna. As with the Nokia N800, N810 and N900, it will ship without software support. However, an Fathom radio application is already available in OVI store from independent developer. NFC is also supported for sharing photos, contacts, or music with other devices supporting NFC and also pairing stereo speakers and headset. More than one device can be connected simultaneously with N9 via NFC. Battery. the Nokia N9 has a BV5JW 3.8V 1450 mAh battery. According to Nokia, this provides from 7 hours to 11 hours of continuous talk time, from 16 to 19.5 days of standby, 4.5H of video playback and up to 50H of music playback. The phone supports USB charging only. Accessories: a number of devices can be used with the N9 via several connectivity options, external keyboards via Bluetooth, wireless headphones via NFC, wireless loudspeakers via NFC, and many others. Systems software MeeGo. Strictly speaking, the Nokia N9 does not run MeeGo 1.2 as its operating system. It instead runs what Nokia refers to as a MeeGo instance. During the development of Harmattan, Nokia and Intel merged their open-source projects into one new common project called MeeGo. Not to postpone the development schedule, Nokia decided to keep the core of Harmattan, such as middleware components and packaging managers. Nonetheless, Harmattan is designed to be fully API compatible with MeeGo 1.2 via Qt. As far as end users and application developers are concerned, the distinction between Harmattan and MeeGo 1.2 is minimal. Since all marketing effort would have been directed to MeeGo, Nokia dropped the memo branding to adopt MeeGo as to not confuse customers. Swipe user interface the Nokia N9 user experience provides 3 panes, called Home, and a lock screen. Dragging or flicking horizontally navigates between the 3 panes of the Home. The Home consists of events. It holds all the notifications such as missed calls, upcoming meeting, unread messages, emails and feeds. Applications, menu with all the installed application shortcuts. It displays 4 columns that can be scrolled up and down as needed by the number of application. Open applications, a task manager that can be viewed either as a 2 columns or 3 columns. If more applications are opened that can be displayed on the screen, the user can scroll the open applications list up and down. When in an application, a swipe gesture from one edge of the screen to the other one will return the user to one of the 3 views of Home. This will not close the application, it will either be suspended or keep running in the background, depending on the application. To close an application, the user must press and hold until a red X appears on the upper left corner of the application thumbnail in the open application view, which will close it. The user may also close apps by swiping from the top of the device and down while in the application. Tapping on the status bar on the top of the screen while using an application will display a menu allowing the user to adjust the volume, change the active profile, internet connection, Bluetooth control shortcut, media sharing shortcut and availability. The lock screen displays the status bar, a clock and some notifications. This screen also holds music controls when the music player is active. It is customizable by the end user. The phone can be unlocked by double tapping on the screen. Sliding and holding the lock screen up reveals 4 shortcuts, called the Quick Launcher. The Quick Launcher can also be accessed while using an application. Open closed source packages and community contributions. The approach applied by Nokia is one of an open platform, with exception, and a closed user experience. As with Memo 5 on the Nokia N900, the community can request a closed-source component owned by Nokia to be released as open source. Hundreds of third-party applications, mostly free and open source, have already been created or ported to the GNU Linux MeeGo Harmattan platform. Released updates Android ports Android 2.3 port leak. Images of an N9 prototype running Android 2.3 were leaked to China Weibo by a user who had previously uploaded prototype images of Nokia's C-Ray Windows Phone. They were believed to be likely genuine, as Stephen Ilop had mentioned Nokia had considered Android in the past. Android 4.1.1 Jelly Bean port, an unofficial Android 4.1.1 port by the Neat Droid community was made. The port features general functionality but misses some features such as voice calling and use of the camera. Sailfish OS used with N9 and N950 On November 21, 2012, Jolly announced and demonstrated Sailfish OS, which is lightly based on MeeGo. Videos of the Sailfish OS running on a Nokia N950 appeared on the internet the same day as the announcement. As the N950 has almost similar technical specifications as the N9, with slight differences including a physical QWERTY keyboard, this led to many owners of the N9 to believe that Sailfish OS can be ported into the N9. Jolla confirmed this, but also stated that there are no official possibilities for such a kind of support of N9, and instead the community will provide the unofficial port for Sailfish OS. However, Jolla maintained that the experience will not be the same as the Sailfish on official Jolla phones. Sailfish OS is the first full Linux MeeGo OS, as the MeeGo Harmattan was only a MeeGo instance. Reception: the Nokia N9 was announced at Nokia's Connections event in Singapore, June 2011. The reception for the device has been very positive, citing the MeeGo v1.2 Harmattan UI, pseudo-buttonless design, polycarbonate unibody construction and its NFC capabilities. Still, many reviewers did not recommend to buy the N9 only because of Nokia's earlier decision to drop MeeGo for Windows Phone for future smartphones, often questioning this decision at the same time. Engadget's editor Vlad Savov said in June 2011 that it's a terrific phone that's got me legitimately excited to use it, but its future is crowded by a parent that's investing its time and money into building up a whole other OS. In a later review, Engadget writes, "Love at first sight, this is possibly the most beautiful phone ever made, and MeeGo 1.2 Harmattan is such a breath of fresh air it will leave you gasping that is, until you remember that you're dealing with a dead man walking." In a review for Ars Technica, Ryan Paul writes, "The N9 is an impressively engineered device that is matched with a sophisticated touch-oriented interface and a powerful software stack with open-source underpinnings." The Verge writes, "The Nokia N9 is, without doubt, one of the most fascinating phones of the last few years." The German Der Spiegel titles this could have been Nokia's winner, and the German magazine Stern describes it as one of the best devices ever made by Nokia. Sales The Nokia N9 has not been directly released in most of the largest smartphone markets such as the US, Canada, UK, the Netherlands, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and others. Nokia did not disclose the number of sales for the N9. According to some unofficial estimates, it might have sold better than the two initially released Lumia devices in the last quarter of 2011, raising further doubts about Nokia's strategy to drop MeeGo in favor of Windows Phone. Awards In November 2011, the Nokia N9 won 3 out of 4 applicable titles at a gala held by Swedish magazine and Weekzine Mobile Say. In January 2012, the Nokia N9 Swipe UI was nominated for an X-Star Interaction Award. In February 2012, the N9 reached number 1 in ranking by rate with a rate of 8.432 and votes of 74,940, and also number 5 by daily interest hits in Xmrana's ranking. In April 2012, the N9 was awarded a Design and Art Direction Yellow Pencil, in the Interactive Product Design category, beating among others the iPad 2 and the Nokia Lumia 800. See also, Nokia N950 developers mobile for N9 software development, Jolla the Finnish company continuing MeeGo smartphones manufacturing which employed almost the whole engineering team which has designed the Nokia N9 and the original Linux MeeGo OS. Sailfish OS informally the next incarnation and successor of MeeGo Linux by Jolla. Jolla first mobile with the Sailfish OS 1.0, considered as N9's successor. Jolla Tablet the first tablet with the Sailfish OS 2.0. It is regarded as a continuation of the N9 project. Sailfish Alliance the alliance created with Jolla to promote MeeGo-based Linux Sailfish and worldwide MeeGo ecosystem. Nokia N1 Nokia's Android tablet after the original device and service division sold to Microsoft. Nokia 10 Nokia's later Linux mobile project, comparison of smartphones, list of open-source mobile phones, list of Nokia products. References. External links, Swipe, Nokia. N9, Europe, Nokia. N9, Nokia.